While a federal appeals court temporarily blocked the Biden administration's coronavirus vaccine mandate for large businesses, the president is encouraging companies to move forward with the vaccine or test rule for workers.
Well, some companies have pushed back their deadlines while this plays out in court. But today, a crowd in Cynthiana gathered to protest one company's stance. LEX 18 Sophia Millar spoke with them. It's tonight's big story at 5:30.
People have been trickling in and out of this protest throughout the day. The group of about 30 emphasized to us that they are not against vaccines. What they're against is the government requiring employees get the COVID shot or face termination.
In no way do we disrespect anybody that has been affected by the coronavirus. We fully acknowledge that it is real and it is a disease. All we want is our choice on how to handle that personally.
Christopher Cooper is a 10-year employee of manufacturing company 3M, but he says he's at a crossroads right now. He wants to keep working for the company, but not if they're going to require he get the coronavirus vaccine.
If they're not willing to honor our choice, I don't want to work for them anymore.
In September, President Joe Biden announced a vaccine mandate for federal contractors requiring all workers be fully vaccinated by December 8th unless they're legally exempt. Federal contractors do not have the option to get weekly testing under the guidance. These 3M Cynthiana employees say they feel like this mandate is a violation of their constitutional rights.
We've worked through the pandemic. We were heroes then, and now we're not even offered a choice to even be tested. We just want our choice to work and not have to worry about this.
We reached out to the 3M corporate office. A company spokesperson responded saying 3M plans to comply with the federal vaccine mandates. The statement reads in part, quote, "We believe it is important to get our workplaces back to normal as quickly as we can. Vaccines are the most effective way to prevent death, serious illness, and transmission. Like other companies, we have seen some sites have employees expressing their opinions publicly. We value our employees and hope they will choose to stay at 3M, end quote. In Harrison County, Sophia Millar, LEX 18 News.
Hey, Shalom, Mike. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Raha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that's teaching His word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And today, Titus lesson, the stress upon the earth, the sea and the waves are wrong, man. As you can see just from the video, which that's not just the only place that's happening, man. Even all the way down to this is not even happening just in this country. This is happening worldwide. These different protests, against that mandate, which that word mandatory, for years, starting the apostles and elders on down, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, the men here at Great Millstone, has been throwing that out there, mandatory, and as you can see, that seed is blossoming. You see the fruit of it now, by the way of that thing, man. And it's only going to intensify when that deadline comes, Ultimately, all hell about to break loose pretty soon, man. At the end of the day, and this is all an effort to overthrow the wicked, the so-called white man, and this beast system, man. So let's start out with this in the book of St. Luke 21. And this is not the only thing to look at, just with these different protests, which is going to become a riot. And that thing, you got a full-fledged civil war. We seeing the steps that leading towards it. We see the steps that's going to lead towards a famine. Martial law taking place. The beasts of the field, changing their place. The money crash, power outages. This is just the beginning, man. The beginning of the sorrow. You think just losing your job is the worst thing ever? Shit. Just wait when you see that Pokemon, man. Or anything that's going to cause distress and anguish upon the people. It's coming, man. What we hear. It's only going to intensify. Let's start this St. Luke 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars. See, in the brother Dawada, he actually did a lesson on concerning the longest lunar eclipse that's about to come up, I believe, of this century, I believe. The longest lunar eclipse. So these are the signs, as well as the different planets lining up. You also have solar eclipse with different moons. Also chariot signs, and you see that key word is "and," because all these things are going to happen simultaneously in this lifetime. It says, and also, on top of all these things, also, and upon the earth, distress of nations. See? Because you have World War III talks. You have these nations jockeying for position. They smell blood in the water. Everybody see that America is circling down the drain. That woman that's coughing up blood. She's about to kick the bucket pretty soon. And that's what the whole world is seeing, the downfall of America. I said those World War III talks. Even these other nations, they're also, I said, they're protesting that thing as well, man. I believe it was a big protest down in New Zealand. It's happening everywhere, man. Because guess what? They facing the same restrictions, those same requirements. They saying mandatory over there as well, man. It says, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, because that distress is going to only intensify. Because what the Lord about to do to this place is going to be beyond human comprehension. See, the word why is going to be thrown around a lot as well when all hell break loose. Why this? Why that? Why me? So that's why perplexity is going to come into place. It said the sea and the waves roaring. See, the people are being stirred up, man. Because why we're going to another era, a new age. This chapter is about to be over with. So that's why we're seeing all these commotions that's happening throughout the planet Earth. Because we at the end of this chapter. Matter of fact, let's get some. 2nd Ezra, chapter 4, verse 37. It says, by measure have he measured the times, and by number have he numbered the times. And that's concerning every kingdom that came and went, man. They had a certain time of rule, and within that rule, it was a certain measure they fulfilled. It was different tasks that played out throughout these kingdoms, man. And then once it was done, then, they were going to be moved out the way. It says, and he doth not move nor stir them, see, until the said measure be fulfilled. And that's how we know we're at the end of the so-called white man reign of terror. Because what's the last thing on his list for that measure, for he's been fully ripened for destruction? That thing. The MOTB is on his way, man. It's going to be full, which is already here. So like, it's already here. But it's going to be full-fledged, where the only way to continue in this society, to continue to be in this system, you got to have it, man. So that's why we seeing, things are being stirred up, commotions, and, this man is pretty much being shaken out of his seat. This is just the beginning stages, because ultimately, the missiles is going to be the icing on the cake, man. But the people are being stirred up. This is the end of an era, man. The so-called white man is about to be overthrown. But it said the Lord is not going to move nor stir until the said measure be fulfilled. So after that thing called the thing, which is the MOTB, ultimately that's when this man is going to be overthrown. That's when it's going to come. That's why it tells you. Matter of fact, let's get some real quick. Just to bag it up. This is the book of St. Matthew 24. And verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, see, so that means concerning that hour of temptation, when the the MOTB is, you know, fully blossomed, where the only way to continue in this society is to have it, man. For you to just make a basic you want to put $10 in the tank, you gotta have a chip for that. To even get a to buy you some anything, any type of transaction cause this is the land of traffic. Everything is centered around buying and selling. You know, that's when the hour of temptation is gonna come. But it says immediately after the tribulation of those days. So that lets you know that's when the said measure is gonna be fulfilled, man. It says, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. See? And that's talking about the powers that be is going to be removed. You know. See, everything that's happening on the planet right now is all an effort to overthrow the so-called white man. You know, as you can see, this nigga, his strength was deception and the sword. This is how he was able to keep the people under control. He was able to overtake them, you know, overcome them by the sword, and to keep his head above water. He lied to the people through deception, man. But now, as you can see, deception is being taken away from him, man. You know. So what's the next step? The next move? The sword. Which it tells you in the book of Psalms that he's gonna fall on his own sword, because this was his really, which it ultimately goes back to Yahweh Shema Shah, but the Lord used Esau to create the mills to come up with the idea to make some shit like that. But that's gonna be the very same tool that he's gonna be overthrown with, man. You know? Matter of fact, let's get some. And these people, these Americans, man, as you can see, this nigga, how they packaged it. Yeah, he worked up for 10 years. You know what I mean? But nah, he gotta get that jab. He brought up, yeah, we was heroes during the pandemic. Yeah, this, you know, but now you ain't got a choice to get a test. You gotta get the jab. You gotta get that Mike Tyson, man. That hook. The jab. You know? But it just lets you know, man, we at the end of this thing. This is the book of Psalm 33, and I start at verse 8. Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. And that's going to be the climax. That's going to be the fashion of when our Lord Yahweh shall return, man. You know? But it starts now. These people are all of what's taking place. And this is Yahweh Shema Shah vision in the world, man. You know? And it's only going to intensify. It's going to build up to the athlete. You see the Lord. You're going to see who's doing these things. You know? It says, for he spake and it was done. He commanded and it stood fast. See? So it lets you know it's the prophecy, the said parables. And it says they're going to stand fast. These things are happening. These things are actually happening, man. You know? And that's why the scripture also is known as commandments. Because ain't nothing, Lord ain't finna give our suggestion of, in the day, this might happen. Or this can be a possibility. No. You read the scriptures, everything, it was presented with a sense of surety. You know, because the Lord, he's the powers of heaven and earth. He's the one that's made these scenarios. That's why they so detailed and vivid, man. Because he came up with them. You know what I mean? So it said, the Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. See? So the counsel of the heathen, which is concerning this new world order, is coming to naught, man. And we seeing it. The people not biting on what this man put forth, this medium, you know, is being broken. You know, the images, he's being confounded. You know? So it's coming and not. Now this man, he's at, you know, it tells you that if the iron be blunt, you got to put more force. See, now he's dull of mind. It tells you that in Jeremiah 49 chapter, the Lord have taken the wisdom from Teman, man. So isn't it, you know, those different plots, plans, and schemes, they would have worked 20 years ago. But he have lost that wisdom, man. So it's not working as it once did. And those devices, which, like I said, goes into a plot or a plan, especially in the evil manner. But why today that word device is synonymous with electronics? Whether it's a Bluetooth, or you gotta put batteries in, or you gotta put plug it up in the wall. It's something electronic. It lights up, or you know what I mean? Because ultimately, that's the climax of it. An actual device that this man is gonna present, and it's gonna be of none effect. Matter of fact, let's get something real quick. Back in Psalms 21, verse 11. For they intended evil against thee. See, this is the so-called white man's intentions. It tells you if he's evil to himself, to whom will he do good? This nigga, you know, starting with these elites. That's why even the KKK, you know, those Edomites, they hate Amalek. You know, so you got Esau hating his own self because of what, you know, these bankers do. You know, so how much more, you know, these other nations, especially the children of Israel, this man have evil intentions, you know, such as with this jab. Who is the target for it? You so-called Negro, Latinos, and natives. But how did he come at you, you know, in the name of health, to help, and, you know, he want to see our people healthy, but this is the same nigga that got pork on the menu. You know, he want to talk about health so much. Actually, the person that's over the Secretary of Health, or former secretary, whatever you want to call it, Miss Doubtfire is the one that's over that, man. If you know who that is. You know, I forgot the nigga name, but that's actually Miss Doubtfire. You know, but the point is, this nigga don't trust this nigga, man. Because he's intending evil. It said they imagine a mischievous device which they are not able to perform. See, so like I said, yeah, that it goes into this man, his new world order, those plots, plans, and schemes. But it actually is gonna be an actual device, the MOTB, that chip, man, that this man is gonna try to implant into you, man. But what Chris said, he's not gonna be able to perform. So that counsel is gonna come to naught. That device is gonna be of none effect, and that's when the said measure is gonna be fulfilled. You know, when this man implement this thing. And it says immediately after that, you know, throughout that period of time, you know, when the Lord allowed this man to, bring forth that thing to the fullest, after that period of time, then the Lord's gonna cut this man off, man. You know? So let's go back, Psalm 33:10. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. See? And we seeing, by the way, the resistance that he's getting. You know? It said the counsel of the Lord standeth forever. See? And that's concerning the scriptures. The thoughts of his heart to all generations. See? So the scriptures, that's why it says it's going to stand fast. See, this is not going to be, when you read the book of Ezekiel, that when Ezekiel was prophesying, that one just reserved his time period, man. Because it was going to actually play out in its perfection in this lifetime. Even those events that actually took place back then. You know, you read like Daniel the 3rd chapter, you know, concerning Nebuchadnezzar, making that image of gold and decreeing. It was an actual decree. It was a commandment for the people to bow to it when they hear the music, man. That wasn't just a good old story to read at the end of the night. You know, you by the fireplace and shit. no, that actually gonna play out in its perfection in this lifetime. That actually happened, but it was a prelude to what was gonna happen worldwide, man. Concerning this image, and these people taking that mark, man. When you hear that, you know what I mean. But the point is that the counsel of the Lord is gonna stand forever. The so-called white man ain't got nothing to do with this, man. He's about to be overthrown, and the people as well. Everybody that's, because guess what? Concerning the video that I played, I perceive this man, he's an Edomite, but the point is, the nigga still need America to be here. He don't want the jab, but he still want his job. It don't matter. You still gonna get destroyed. 2 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. See, and you gotta see. It's not concerning the whole planet. It's talking about this world, this age, this system, and the ones that dwell therein. Meaning, not just you on the planet Earth, and not even because you got I said not because you on the Earth. It's because you actually abide in this system. Not, like I said, not because you got a license, but the mindset of this. You got a 10-year plan, not even a 5 or 3-year plan, but America still got to be here. That means that's concerning you as well, because you actually dwell in the world. Your actions and the way you move is centered around America, one way, form, or fashion. That's why, man, he protesting against the jab, but he still want the job. And that's for a lot of people. They don't want the jab, but they want the job. They okay with the 9 to 5. They okay with these certain how things was, but now the pressure coming, man. It says, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. See, and that's what it ultimately finna come down to. Like I said, this civil, because the protest is finna ramp up. It's not finna be people just having signs and shit all day. They about to have, scraps about to come out pretty soon, and I ain't just gonna be holding them up, flashing it. These things gonna be put to use pretty soon, man. And that lets you know this was gonna happen during the time when Esau is ruling. Everybody got a sword. When you go into the different statistics, America is down there. Everybody got a scrap, man. So this is where it's gonna go down at. Matter of fact, continue on. It said, for there shall be sedition among men. See, people going to incite one another to rise up against the government. It was a video, I believe it was last week, motherfucker protesting the children getting the jab. And this nigga threat, he said, look, if they don't stop this, we're going to burn the school down, some crazy shit. With everybody in it. You had people shooting at the Capitol building. They putting money on the governor's head and shit, man. That shit ain't died down, or that ain't finna, man, it's finna go down, man. These people finna lose it. Why? Cause they finna lose it, man. These people finna lose. They already they realize they ain't got no rights now. So what you think these Americans, you gotta remember they, high off Grubhub and these different apps, everything is literally at the tip of your finger, and it's about to be compromised. These people gonna lose it, man. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. See? Like I said, because them protests gonna turn into riots, to them making demands. And what is gonna ultimately lead to? Martial law, man. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. See, and that's what it's going to lead to. Martial law, these lockdowns, man. If the crown, they say the crown variant or whatever don't do it, these people goddamn acting up gonna do it, man. But at the end of the day, just to say all that to say this is all an effort to overthrow the so-called white man. Everybody that's joined up to him, man. This is just a chapter closing, but it's gonna end off with a bang, and that's concerning World War III, as well as the fire from the chariots, man. So yeah, I can imagine hope to be edifying. Let it give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakha Kodash. I let it give double honors to the apostles and elders.